Salut, c'est Géraldine. Welcome to Comme, Française TV. Live in France, feel at home. Today, again, I'm very glad to welcome a guest. Well, two guests, because I'm welcoming today Damon and Jo from the wonderful YouTube show and website Shut Up and Go. They were very inspiring in their YouTube videos where they were talking about how to speak French better. And they had the very nice insights on real French, the French we actually speak. I hope you like this video and I wish you a nice time. Hi guys, I'm glad to welcome you to the show. I've discovered your video, Damon and Jo, on YouTube because you sent a comment on one of mine and I was very curious to look at your show. And I'm a big fan of your blog and your spirits. You're so cute, I want to travel with you. That's true. It's so inspiring. I'm very happy I met you. And but can you present yourself because not everybody there knows you yet?
Yeah, of course. We're Damon and Jo. We have
Damon, Jo.
Damon and Jo. We have a travel show on YouTube
Called Shut Up and Go,
Good.
which is telling you all to shut up and go.
Shut up and go travel, despite the excuses, if you're busy, if you're broke. But actually, Geraldine, I found your blog because I teach French in New York, and I show all of your videos, I swear, I show all of your videos in my French classes. So,
To
merci.
teach French, like you're the teacher.
I'm so honored. I'm really glad when teachers tell me that because I feel like, wow, I'm course material.
You're
No,
good.
honestly.
So now people know you now, Damon and Jo, and you have lots of experience about learning French because you guys were in France and also you teach French, which is good. And can you tell us a few challenges that you met when you were in France and how did you overcome them? Because I know you're very curious and motivated.
Yeah, definitely. I think, so we both studied abroad as Americans in Paris. I did a year, Joanna did a semester. I think the number one struggle I faced was that as an American going to Paris, or as an American studying abroad anywhere, you tend to stick to Americans, or not even Americans, but to English speakers. And it's like, I'm spending all this money to go to Paris to learn French, but I'm only cheating myself because I'm staying with Americans. So I think that was kind of hard for me the first semester, just because, I mean, I was homesick, I was lonely, and the people around me knew the culture. So that was definitely a challenge I had to overcome. And I did the second semester.
He was good. Now he only speaks French and only speaks to French people. He doesn't have any American friends except for me. And for me, I guess my challenge was, so when I went to Paris, I wanted to get the full French experience. So I threw myself in the middle of a French homestay,
Wow.
which means que de français. I only spoke French. They actually did not speak any English.
Good for you.
And so for me, like, I studied French in high school, not even in college, and I speak Portuguese, so things are a little bit easier. But to ask for a napkin, I'm like, what's a napkin? Serviette. Oh shit, that's a napkin. Like, that's how you say basic things. Or that's how you say a towel. Or everything that you need to actually live in France. So that was number one. It's like these basic words that you don't learn in classrooms. You really don't. You learn them
Practical
right
French.
in the country.
Right, and real quick, to add to that, I think the best way to learn a language is to really put yourself in those uncomfortable situations where you're in a grocery store in France and you're like, I don't know how to say where the pineapples.
It's so
And
embarrassing, but it's like funny. It's funny. Learning a language is super awkward, embarrassing, and funny, and I think everybody should do it. And so the second challenge that I had was living in France with a French homestay was how strict she was. And it might have been just my homestay mom, but it was very difficult for me, the open Brazilian, free and loud, to have to tiptoe and be quiet because she's not Brazilian. She is French. So it was a challenge, but she was amazing. And it was one of those things that you learn to adapt and to live around the people, and you start becoming a little bit like the people, which we appreciate a lot.
Yeah.
It's funny you talk about this kind of very practical thing because when I was living in England, once I had to buy flour, to make a cake. And this word is really hard for me to say because I never know how you say it, like flour or flour. And then, so I went to the shop and I said, I have to buy it. So I need a white powder you make cake with. And this guy, he showed me sugar, he showed me yes, and I was like, no, I don't need that. And I laugh at it now but I wanted to cry then. This is awful.
Exactly. Those are the moments to learn the language. And in anything, I also think another way to learn the language is if you have to fight for something. So I remember, do you remember I was trying to pay with my American credit card?
Oh my gosh.
So Geraldine, in America, we don't have the chip in front of our card, like
La
the
puce.
Europe,
Yes,
la puce,
yeah.
So
It's like
it's a straight,
Right.
So I have an American credit card or a debit card, and I was trying to buy something, and Damon was with me, and the man was like, "Ça marche pas." I'm like, "Bah oui, ça marche." Blah 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 blah. And that's when I really started like speaking and expressing myself, because you have to defend yourself. You can't, like, what are you gonna do? You know, like, not buy what you need to buy.
Yeah, I almost got mugged one time in Paris, and I had to use my French to tell him, like, hey, I'm not just a tourist from America. I do speak French, thank you. Somewhat.
well done, you guys. Then that's good. So even if you're having a challenge, you can still overcome it by like being yourself and trying to find a few words you know and talking. So this was good for the challenges. And but what about the tips you have? Because I know you have some. What kind of tips do you have, guys, to help the audience improve their French?
Number one, we didn't even think about this. When you go to France and you say, "Nous sommes américains," like you never say "nous." You don't use "nous" in France.
No.
You say "on."
Yes.
So everything is "on." So on va aller au ciné, on va manger, on va bouffer.
Which is hard, I think, for people learning French, because if you are in any classroom, your teacher tells you to say "nous."
Drop the "nous."
So that's definitely number one. I think number two is finding a friend who speaks French, but who's not going to intimidate you when speaking. So you're going to feel comfortable speaking with them. And that's the best way, because they're going to teach you words that you don't learn in a textbook. So instead of saying l'eau, water, they'll teach you la flotte. It's like, you would never learn that in a textbook. You just learn it from the street. You learn it from your French friends. And I think that's the best way to really buckle down and become fluent in French. What else do we have?
Drop the "na." Drop the "na." So we filmed a video about how to sound cooler in French, and one of the funny things that we did was, in French, we learned that you don't say "je ne veux pas," you say "je veux pas." So you drop the "na."
And you say,
so we made a dance. Yeah, je veux pas, je veux pas. So drop that "na na na." So maybe you can watch the video later. Ways to sound cooler in French. Never say the "na." Just don't.
Do you have one more?
Exactly.
Verlan.
Oh, verlan. So this word itself means backwards.
Yeah,
well, that word is backwards. So what it is, the youth of France or the youth of Paris, I'm not exactly sure, created a language to sound cool so that their parents couldn't understand them when they were speaking.
So now if you're an American or you don't speak French and you're coming to France trying to learn French, and then they're like, you gotta learn verlan, that's like a whole nother level. So
it's like a secret language that the youth, or not even the youth, just kind of like
the
younger
old.
generations are using.
It's an old one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a secret language. So instead of saying la femme, what you do is you take the end of the word, put it at the beginning, and the word is not la femme, it's now la meuf.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like in English, we have Pig Latin.
Yeah,
right?
but nobody uses that. In France, they actually use verlan. Like, I don't remember the last time I said la femme. Now it's meuf. Like, for me, meuf. Never, because you just get used to hearing it and nobody says femme anymore.
And
so learn verlan, because you will not understand a lot of things if you don't speak verlan.
And it's not only verlan, as you said, like, for example, la flotte is not verlan, but it's this slang that is not vulgar, but that everybody uses. For example, we don't say un homme, we say un mec ou un type. These kind of things that are really used.
Yeah.
And how did you understand that meuf was femme and la flotte was l'eau?
I think it was having French friends, or having at least one French friend that would just say it in normal conversation, and then we'd be like,
what are you saying?
like, don't you mean de l'eau, or don't you mean la femme? say, oh no, I mean flotte, I mean meuf. So I think definitely it's having French friends, whether they're virtual friends online or someone in your physical town.
Okay, so having a person you trust that you're able to talk to and ask questions.
And they don't need to be your age, because for me, I learned a lot from my little host brother who was 6 years old, Adam, and he taught me the fun things. He's like, caca boudin. I'm like, what is that? I forget what that means. Caca boudin. And like, he taught me about Vernon. And I think the best way for me, because I'm like a child, is to learn with a kid. It's to learn with a young kid, because one, they're going to be excited about being able to teach you. They're not going to be annoyed. They're going to answer every question, and they're learning and teaching you at the same time, so it's current. So when I was learning Arabic, I was learning with like a 12-year-old, and when I was learning French, it was with a 6-year-old. So even if you can't find somebody your age, find a younger kid, and it'll be good.
Yeah, that's not as intimidating, I guess, to talk to a little kid who isn't bilingual yet, or maybe is.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I guess it's not as intimidating to talk to a little kid.
Definitely, and you can watch Les Dessins Animés with them, which has very, very good vocabulary, and they speak slowly.
Yeah, and I like cartoons.
Yeah, and I like cartoons, so.
That's really cool. It's very helpful because I didn't think about that. That's really good. And I know from your last post, because I read your blog, that you were talking about French movies. Do you have French programs that you like that really helps you learn French and are funny, not boring ones, that you want to share with the audience?
Definitely. I think for advanced learners, there are two that I love. I think finding comedians who don't speak super fast, but who teach you Comme, that's what I was going to say. So finding French comedians, I think, is definitely good for advanced speakers. Personally, I like Shirley et Dino. I guess they're from the early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe 1990s.
I went to see them on a show.
Ah!
Nice.
Oh my god, I love it. So I think finding comedians is one.
For me, I mean, when you're not in Paris or France or in Europe, it's hard to watch things on TV, so that's number one. So I always search things on YouTube. We both do. So Un gars et une fille, like really good short form, fast, funny. And a lot of times I'll watch the same thing like 30 times because I'm like, what, Damon, what? And then he'll be like, he'll tell me, or I'll like hear it finally on the 50th time. So I think short videos, so bref, Un gars et une fille, any movies that are English, I always put in French if it comes with that option. So before I buy a DVD, I check the back to see if there's voiceover in French, and I do that without subtitles.
That's very brave.
Because it's like, you know, if you're going to spend 2 hours of your life standing in front of a screen, expand your mind. So you watch something in English, now watch it in French, and you're going to know what's happening and learning slang and vocab.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Golden Moustache?
Golden Moustache.
It's a YouTube group, and they do wonderful videos. Sometimes pretty offensive, but it's very, very French humor, you see what I mean? And they're really good, so I recommend them.
Golden Mustache.
Yeah, like a mustache, yeah. Don't start watching now.
I know. Pause the interview.
And you, Damon, do you have another program you like, or your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is, of course, Auberge Espagnole.
Mine too.
Because it's about a study abroader who goes to another country and really experiences what it's like. It's that, and the fact that it's in multiple languages, which is why we love it. I think a good tip for finding French television is to find kind of the equivalent of your favorite American show or your favorite English show. So I love House Hunters, and if you go into France, they have a show, Recherche, Appartement et Maison, or something like that.
It's such a good show.
I love it. So I think definitely finding the equivalent. If you like cooking shows, you can watch Un dîner presque parfait.
Yes, that's really good because it's also about how French people host dinners. So it's not only about it's not only about cooking; it's most about culture.
Well, yeah, it's that, and going back to the real estate show, I mean, you learn how to look for an apartment and the vocabulary you're gonna actually use.
The areas to les arrondissements and like what each area is known for, that's like a huge thing. I think that the challenge comes with, if you're American, you're in America, you don't know what's happening in France, which is why like Facebook groups and virtual things that you can make friends online and ask them what is happening on French television or what is happening all over the world, and then you just Google it and find it. Right now I have a French roommate and I'm always like asking him all these questions like what TV shows, and I make lists and I have books that he gave me. So it's all about connecting with people that have that exposure that you don't have.
Okay, I'll send you a few ideas of movies to watch as well.
Yeah.
And one last thing, is there something you discovered about yourself while you were in France so far from home?
Oh my God.
Damon? Okay, so I knew Damon before he went to Paris, and after a year in Paris, he changed 1,000%. He came back such a different person.
I know. I think, well, I'm from Indiana, where everybody's pretty much Republican, everybody's pretty much conservative, religious, and first off, getting out of that environment and going to Paris, a huge city, is not the, I don't know, it wasn't
easy?
I guess it wasn't easy. It wasn't what I had always known, I guess. So being surrounded by French people, first off, I think French people are more curious about, I guess, other cultures, other worlds, they're just more open-minded. Their spirit is open. I don't know.
They're aware.
Thank you.
They feel like, yeah, no, you guys are great. And when you live in a situation like that, you start picking up common things that they do. So I remember when we were both in Paris, we started researching more things about the world. Like maybe I could pick up a newspaper, Americans. Like we just don't live in the same kind of culture. So I think for you, it was like you came out of Paris completely open-minded and questioning everything. And that's when we started filming our show, when we were in Paris. Which is interesting because before I went to Paris, I had this idea in my mind. I'm a Brazilian immigrant. I came to the US when I was 6, and so it was always like work, work, work. You're gonna go to New York, you're gonna become a CEO by working your entire life. We go to Paris, no work. I didn't work. I filmed. And when I came back to New York, Damon and I looked at each other and I was like, I don't want to live my life to work. I want to live, and the French people, I feel like they do that better than Americans. It's obvious. Like,
yeah, no, the French people definitely know how to have a balance with things. The French people work to live instead of living to work. So here in the States, everyone's about building your resume and, climbing the corporate ladder. And it's like, that's not what life is about. Life is about, having these experiences and learning languages to communicate with other people. So that was definitely a change in both of us.
And I think when we came back from Paris, it was like the moment we stepped back into this cycle, the societal cycle that we're built into, we wanted to change everything. We came back like French revolutionaries. We were like, hell no. Like we're gonna show everybody how they can shut up and go. And that's why we started doing what we do now. It was because of that first experience living in Paris for as long as we did. And ever since then, it's just been like, when are we gonna go to France next? Like, when are we moving? It was really a change maker and everything.
And when are we going to have coffee together then?
Oh my God, I know.
That's it. ASAP as soon as possible.
Come to New York and then we'll go with you back to France.
I'd love to. I hope we can meet there. So thank you guys, it was awesome. And now to finish this video, I like to end all the videos of Comme Française TV with a challenge for the audience, because we're not just here to watch videos and sleep on them. Is there a challenge you want to offer to the audience for them to share and to improve their French?
I have a good one because I'm not a French teacher. I get a lot of my things, as you know, from watching movies and listening to music and talking to French people. But if you are French, and even if you're not French, write in our comment section. What are your favorite French movies? What are your favorite French musics or songs? What are your favorite French slang words?
Favorite French TV shows, favorite French, people, favorite French celebrities.
Because we don't know any of this. We're not French.
We need help.
We need a lot of help. And also, when you guys send those in, we'll put a video together and talk about what people really are watching, because yeah, we have our opinions, but you guys contribute to the videos.
Cool. So for people who are listening, to write down one French word that you like, a slang word or a music or a movie, so we can all share what we like and inspire each other. And I'm waiting for your videos, guys, about this, so I can talk about this on Comme Française TV later and share it with the audience. Okay?
Perfect.
And have a good day, because what time is it? 2, 3?
2 p.m.
It's about 3 p.m. Yeah.
Okay, then.
New York time.
Have a good day.
Merci.
Thank you,
so
Géraldine.
much.
We love you.
On t'aime. Bien.
Allez, salut.
Bye.
Salut.
I hope you like this video and I wish you a great week. I will see you next week for a special episode on Christmas. Allez, salut.